Welcome everybody to the Onward VR Master League. My name is NightFiree with 2 E's. I am joined by my co-caster, Triple Nipple that way. How are you doing today, Trip?
I'm doing great. I already watched one game today, and now I'm ready for my second game.
Perfect. Yeah, Animal House versus Ember is what is on the docket for today. 2 seasoned teams in the league, teams that have been around for a while. I haven't looked at win-losses from either one of these squads. I haven't done a deep dive into the stats. I am curious how Animal House has been playing this season, because if I remember correctly, yeah, they had a little bit of a rough patch there. Rough Riders and G-Men beating them. They recently won against Entity. What are you expecting out of today?
Teams,
yeah.
I mean, they're right on top of each other rank-wise. I think they have the exact same points. Let me look at that again. Ember, yeah, 1220 MMR, and Animal House 1220 MMR. So I think we're going to see a lot. So Animal House picked up new players. They've got a couple of new players from old Mob Squad that like to flank a lot. And they do it at a different time than most people. Most people try and push that flanker out at the beginning of the round and get them around. But Animal House seems to do it like 3 minutes in, and they'll start sending a flanker out, and that throws a lot of people off because at that point they've given up on that flank. Yeah. They're not watching it anymore. But yeah. Ember flexes between aggressive and very strategic at the same time. So I like watching them play. I love listening to them play. They have very good commentary between the teams. Yeah. So does Animal House. I mean, both these teams are great, and I think they're 2 of the teams that play the most amount of games per season, because Ember loves to get their challenges in, and Animal House is one of the top teams that does still do challenges.
Yeah, looking at Ember's win-loss record this season, looking pretty good. Had a bit of a streak going there for a while, 3 wins, and then they've recently lost to Mayhem, albeit not too bad. So yeah, and excited to see what they're going to bring to Animal House. Animal House currently is that right? They're ranked 13th, so yeah, they're gold, whereas Ember is ranked 12th. They're a diamond, so just 1 rank away from being up in a new division. And so it's an important one for Animal House. I'm curious to see what they're going to bring to the table. We do have our pick bans for today coming in from Ember. We have, or excuse me, Animal House, since they're home. We have the Downfall ban. And coming in from
Ember,
we have the I was getting my Bizarre ban. Jeez.
Yeah, that's a weird one from Ember. I thought that they were normally pretty good at it, but maybe they just don't want to play it, or maybe they've changed their roster up and they're playing different players, and that's, you know, affecting them. We also have map number 1. Map 1 is Cargo, and these teams are ready to go. So I think I'm going to give them the go-ahead. And we'll kick this off with some fast-paced action on Cargo.
It's going to be an excellent starting map for the series. Both squads readied up. Over on Animal House, we have Wicked Hex, F. Lipinski, Steven 12, Nolamite, and Nynx Dragon. Over on Ember, we have Quaka Flocka, Hailfire, J-Lo, Milkman, and Switch.
Yeah, Steven has been out for most of the season so far. This is his first game back, I believe. So we'll see if he's back in the swing of things. He's been missing practices and games because of real life, so we'll see.
I know he's been watching the streams. I've been seeing him in Twitch chat, so he's certainly at least been paying attention. And this is going to be a heavy press, as this objective usually warrants. Suppressive fire coming in now. No one going down yet, but Nolamite about to be in danger close. Finds one. Quaka goes down. Switch here. Hasn't picked up on the pressure that exists here. Nolamite pad out. Where's the rotation from Ember? Nobody's crashing on objective. And this might be 2 points. It is. Animal House punch in the code just before finishing off the 5th.
Wow, 30 seconds. Less than 30 seconds. It was 35 on the clock, I believe, when that ended.
I think he capped it as they killed the 5th. Like, you see that 2 points come in on that replay right as he is. I mean, that.
Yeah. Oh. Man, what a great play. And, you know, Quokka went down, and I'm pretty sure I saw him throw his C4. He was ready for those 2 rushers. He just wasn't fast enough, which is really sad. That's the worst feeling in the world, right? You get your grenade ready or something, and you go to throw it around the corner, and they're there, and you're like, oh man.
Yeah, because you know you made the right read, you just didn't do it fast enough, and it's like, yeah, it's one of the harder pill to swallow, for sure. But I mean, geez, what a way to start the round out of Animal House. Steven, they didn't even need him.
I didn't even see him. Did he just stand there and spawn?
Either way, I mean, the Animal House team. I mean, that is one way to start, right? Those were great smokes. Fully doused the area, completely covered all the right crosses. Honestly, when you go back and look at it, they had all of those different angles to look into the center of objective, completely smoked. And so there was no way they would even know Nolamite was punching the code unless they contested it there.
Yeah, they were kind of forcing those rotations in, and they were just waiting, and they would pick off anyone that came into the smoke. I did see someone try and redirect a smoke too, and it just I don't think they knew where they were because of the smoke. The smoke was placed that well, so they picked it up and threw it, and it just hit the double stack behind him and fell back down and just kept smoking. And I was like, oh no.
Yeah, sometimes they don't go the way you need them to, but either way, a fast round 1. We'll see what round 2 shapes up to look like as we hop into the Ember chance at offense. One of the trademark things about Steven being back in the game is that you can hear him anywhere in the map. I think he contests for loudest player, but here comes a hard press, and Quokka and Ember seem to be ready for a bit of an over-aggressive push. Eflipinski does find one, not before Quokka can find the reflag.
Nolamite now pushing up out of that same door. The refrag was good. Now Quokka's danger close to Nolamite. He's not going to hear these slow steps. Nolamite's going to round this corner. Is he going to push it? Ooh. Hailfire takes some shots. Oh, the down call comes out, but he is not down. Nolamite's at the corner. Quokka takes him down. Sees the barrel. Steven takes down Hailfire.
Quokka can't find this angle. He has to push this. He can't challenge that double stack there. Steve finds one, not before Switch able to get the kill on the back end. Ember have 2 to Animal House's 1. The over-aggression now kind of biting Animal House in the rear. Nynx drops back and begins to cover objective.
I think it was a good plan, but I think that they slowed down at different times. I think that, you know, Nolamite was up there and then Steven slowed down. And if they had all just kept pushing out of that center, maybe it would have worked differently. Or maybe they would have gotten to a firing line. Nynx now sitting in the smoke, trying to defend this objective all by himself.
Yeah, interesting. Just got to get that timing down on the push. And I mean, it's hard to really commit to that because you can't overcommit, and you don't want to be doing that. Nynx is crossing this little line of sight that is held there, but now Milkman able to take him on a trade. The final survivor of Ember is going to get them 1 point. And we are swapping Marsoc rounds today.
We are, but if you're swapping Marsoc rounds, having a cap definitely helps you.
Yeah, that's very true. That is very true. And that is why Animal House still have the lead. And where are we going for our next objective? Because I'm wondering if it's going to be
We're going to the propane container. Propane tank. Container? Yeah, it's the container.
I feel like this is more Volk-sided. Maybe it depends on your strategy, how you approach it. If you get the right smokes, you certainly can get aggressive on this map, but
I don't know, man. We've seen Blaze come in here with smokes and just run up and cap it without even killing anybody.
Yep.
We've seen Animal House do it, I think, a couple of times. If they do the same aggressive thing, this is what I like about Animal House. They do that one right out of the gate just to get in your head. And now they could throw 10 smokes on the objective and everyone's going to rush over there. And then they're just going to shoot you as you make that cross. They don't even have to go for this objective.
Yeah.
So it's all mind games, and you have to be confident in your defense on the Ember side to say, okay, I can see this cross, or there's smoke. One of us has to go into it and check. But if you let smoke sit on this objective, I don't know, man. That makes me uncomfortable, especially on cargo, because they can be there so fast.
You definitely have to challenge them if they come in thick, and Animal House have done it once. I don't see why they wouldn't do it again. It would also secure them map 1 and their map pick. So we'll see what they bring to the table for round 3 as they go on the offense. I really do imagine we're going to see the full court press here and the minute round.
Oh yeah.
Thank you. No, I'm just kidding here. Oh shit.
Okay, there we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. That one's on the other side.
Well, they're not applying the pressure very heavily. Switch able to catch one. A bit of a odd rotation. The smoke's really not going their way. Look at this. It almost covered everywhere but the angle they needed it to cover.
I don't see anyone else right side. They're coming from the left. Some are coming from the left right now.
The rotation's called out. The audible. Steven finds Quokka and Switch. Calls out the kills, runs right into Nailfire. Hailfire takes him down, but the backside gets taken up by Nolamite. Nolamite keeps pushing through, takes down Hailfire in a trade, and now it's all up to J-Lo. He's running right over towards the... Hailfire needs to just keep making those call-outs.
Oh, J-Lo was able to cross. Nynx doesn't contest it.
Nynx pushing towards him now. A flash coming out from J-Lo, I believe. Oh, a frag. Oh, wow. What a throw. Just a little short, though. Lipinski under the pipes, trying to find an angle. Nynx also creeping up onto J-Lo. He sees the barrel. He knows he's there.
J-Lo's not going to be ready for Lipinski on the backside. Or is he? The nice look doesn't get Nynx with a nade, and so Nynx, the surviving attacker, gets Animal House another one.
Oh, Nynx stole that kill at the end. So rude.
Gotta confirm him, okay? Yeah, kind of what he, it's why Animal House picked Cargo, because they are experts at chaos. They're great at charging in, looking for trades in the smoke, trying to find, success in the commotion, and they're the start of the round. That team is chaotic. They're screaming and yelling, and the way they play mimics the people that they are very much. And Ember, for now, is having a tough time dealing with it. I'm curious how they're going to attack. I imagine it'll be slow again. I imagine they'll see if Animal House are going to pressure, because so far Animal House haven't not charged in.
Yeah, I could probably bet you safely that Nolamite is going to come up through that 2-door towards the south side of that north green container pretty much every time. That's kind of his move. Just like on Suburbia, he comes right through the carport. That's what he does. But he does it every time, and he's ready for the people. He knows where people can shoot him, so he's there and ready. It's not like he's just running at you. The calculated move.
Round number 4, 5. That's pressing.
Round 4.
Oh, we had a cap. I knew it.
We had a cap.
I did it right.
Oh.
I had it right.
Ember setting up slow. It looks like Nynx is going to push up through the tunnel. But if I'm remembering this play right, he's not going to push out of the tunnel until gunshots start happening. He's going to sit right there about right before the entrance and just wait. And then he'll come out and flank once the shots start happening. He waits for that confusion. But it looks like they're waiting for this. I mean, Milkman and Hailfire are kind of protecting this tunnel exit.
Yeah, they're very much waiting for a push to come out here. It's a good reaction, honestly, to how Animal House have been playing. It's been very aggressive. Hailfire does have to take the long rotation, which is smart, but if he peeks this, he could be vulnerable. Nynx is hunting for an angle out of this little tunnel.
You can't see anyone. Milkman just scanned over there. Didn't see the elbow. The shots do ring out. Nynx finds Hailfire, but Milkman gets the quick refrag onto that.
Sounds like there was a death on the backside there. That nade confirming the down from Nynx, but Either way, we're into a 4v4. Quokka Floka tosses out some smokes. Decent coverage. Frags coming in to no success. Ember playing this slow as anticipated, and so far it is working. They have sort of slowed down the Animal House, and I wonder if slowing down Animal House is going to be what they need to do to beat them. Because boy, are they great fast.
They thrive in the chaos. Wicked is hanging out at the exit for the tunnel, and they're going to have to deal with him, which is really going to expose you. If you're Quokka, you're going to look the other way, or not, and Wicked takes him down and gets the second frag onto Switch. Nice 1-2 pick there.
Might be able to find himself a couple more, too, if he challenges out here and applies the pressure.
Looks like he's going to. He comes out, he finds one, he finds another. That's 4.
Wow. Animal House.
Wicked. Whew.
Yeah, that was wild. He put the pedal to the metal there.
Those were his only 4 kills in the whole map. We were right there at the end. He waited. He was waiting for his chance.
Hey, it works,
but Animal
right?
House take that. Yeah, 4-1 Animal House, and we're what, 12 minutes into the match? I mean, that's a pretty fast cargo.
I think after that, what you do is you throw a quarantine in. I can't.
I think so.
Bazaar is a risk. Bazaar is still too close. Oh, or this.
This works.
Another option. Definitely a way to slow it up. We'll be heading to Snow Peak. Two casts in a row for me, man. Crazy.
I have played both. I don't know. Actually, I don't know if I played Ember, but I've played Animal House on this map, and they know it. They're not bad at it. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if Ember is aware of that fact.
Yeah, this is Ember's map pick. It definitely will be interesting to see what they do too.
And it's the day version, not the fun night version, obviously. You were glad to see that, weren't you? You were so happy to watch some Snow Peak.
Yeah.
Good change of pace.
I'm just glad it wasn't too slow. I was concerned we were about to slow it up for the third match.
We wouldn't do that to you, NightFiree.
I was concerned, but yeah, it was certainly entertaining, and honestly, we'll probably get that sort of pace here again, even though it is the second map. Ember certainly, I anticipate, will play these a little bit slower, but Animal House, I don't even think they have a break.
Depends.
I don't think they have a break.
If you get the warehouse, or if you get the tunnels, then you play very differently than if you have the north hangar or the twin hangars, because they just have so much more room for the other team to spread out and come to you. But on the tunnel and the warehouse, I mean, they have to come through a certain set of doors or a hallway, and it's just who has the better trigger finger as people round corners and set up, overlapping fields of fire.
Yeah.
Also, RPG and 203 are legal on this map.
Be honest with you, I would be more surprised if we didn't see it at Animal House.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's an option.
I will tell you this, NightFiree, you almost saw one the other night. Had we got a different objective, I would have had an RPG. It would have been awesome. But yeah, the 203, I still don't see it being worthwhile. The RPG is so much more effective, but you are left with a pistol. But the 203, you lose your accuracy on that, on the Mark 18. And, I mean, we saw earlier, it hit a window frame, and the guy standing inside the window frame didn't take damage. So it's so hit or miss.
That's very characteristic of Onward explosives, though. Nades.
That's true.
Nades cannot kill you because of a curb being in front of them. It's just I guess what we've grown to be accustomed to in this game in terms of how the explosives really work their way around corners. But who knows? Maybe.
Yeah, I wonder if that's changed in 1.8. I haven't even thought about that or looked into that. I don't remember the last sit rep saying anything about explosives. I'll have to go bug Mr. Death.
Yeah.
Give me the deets. Let's see. We have Animal House still have Wicked Hex, Eflipinski, Steven 12, Nolamite, and Nink's Dragon. Same lineup. And Ember have Quokka, Hailfire, Milkman, and Switch, and they are waiting on their 5th. They had J-Lo. I don't think he plays this map. I think they swap him out for... Who is it? I want to say Light Shaper or C-Max. Not C-Max. Yeah, Light Shaper or C-Max. One of those two. I think it was Light Shaper that played it last time.
Well, while we wait, give a shout out to everyone in chat that is hanging out. Thank you guys for watching. See some new faces in there. Welcome in. This is the VR Master League. We are the VR Esports League. This is our Onward show. We've been running it for, what is it now, 2.5 years? I think we're coming up on that. I think we're coming up on 2.5.
Really?
Yeah, I know. It's been a very long time. We've run a ton of seasons. We are on our 10th. And if you don't know what Onward is, well, it is a 5v5 tactical military simulator. You are trying to attack an objective. The Marsoc team is the blue team. They are trying to attack an objective that the Volk team or the orange team is defending. And so the standard style of gameplay that you usually get is the Volk team is supposed to defend the objective from being captured, and the Marsoc team goes after the objective. Now, there's a couple of utility items you can use, obviously. Smokes, grenades, flashbangs. There's sniper rifles, long-range scopes, all of that. And so most likely we will see some sniping coming in here today, I guess, depending on where the objective is. And so that's the gist of it, really. If the attacking team captures the objective, what they're trying to do is punch in a 7-digit code on the objective, and that'll get them 2 points. Otherwise, everybody is trying to kill everybody for 1 point. And so you see that more often than you see caps. And so usually when we do see a cap come in or 2 points get secured, like we actually just did in that first map, it's always a surprise. And I'm curious to see, again, what kind of strats we get out of these squads as we dive into round 1 of map 2.
Was a quick spawn at the warehouse, and Quokka is running right up into Ninx. Ninx is gonna hear these footsteps. Yep. Spatial audio being one of my favorite things in VR. Being able to yell at your enemies is great. Have conversations, trade recipes, whatever.
That was almost a good toss. What Ninx does have to be careful of, though, is his right side as well, and he is watching that. So he's throwing the nade. That's not going to find any purchase, and he's watching for other entry points here. I think what Quokka can do is rotate back around and come in through tunnels. So Ninx is concerned about that. That's what he is guarding, but won't happen for a little bit based off of the overhead. Or at all. I don't know if Quokka's
Wicked
gonna rotate.
rotated now towards the what is it called? The garage. This map doesn't get played a whole lot. Callouts are hard, folks. But he's waiting for these two to come out of the garage because they know if they were that close at the U tunnel, then they had to have spawned close enough to take the tunnels. But it does look like the other two, if you look at the overhead, are all the way around the lake. So they're really trying to encircle this objective before they engage, but Switch might jump the gun a little bit here. Wicked had to have heard those those footsteps.
Switch is looking for any inconsistencies in the pixels in between these crates here. You can see his laser dialed in on this crack, but Wicked is not positioned against that. He is able to technically take out Switch right now if Wicked were to decide to peek up and over. Switch is being quiet enough, though. He's muffled his footsteps, being slow enough that Wicked can't hear him.
They're both gonna stand up at the same time and just be like, oh, the click back into the mag tube. I heard it. Wicked doesn't hear it, and Switch finds him.
That's a nice little kickoff for Ember.
See if any rotation happens on the overhead. It looks like Nynx is going into the U-tunnel and coming on the flank. Yes, he is coming through the tunnels. If he doesn't get lost, that might be good.
But he's not flanking Quokka. He's dropping off of holding coverage on Quokka, so that's going to open up a gap there. But to your point, yeah, it might lead to something positive. I don't know if you can see all the way through here, but he is slowly approaching in from the back.
Like I said, 3 minutes in, the flanker is out. And Lightshaper and Switch are probably going to get caught in the open with their pants down.
Yeah, he's not slowing down. Oh, and that might be... Is he going to get there fast enough? Some damage is being done. 2 more go down, although there is a trade. Nynx may have the back of one Lightshaper. He does find that kill. Again, the gap in coverage exists, though. Quokka can push in. Hailfire finds Nolamite on the backside. Milkman with the confirm. Objective is barren. This is an easy 2 points.
This is a very big gap in coverage there as Milkman gets onto the objective. Nynx running, but he can't find anyone, and he's looking for someone coming in, but they're already there. Milkman gets their 2 points.
And so that is the game right there. That is how Onward works. You try and bait out the defense. You try and catch them out on a rotation. You try and find gaps in coverage. You get to that objective that rotates every 2 rounds to different locations, and you get yourself 2 points. Now Animal House will switch sides, so now Animal House will attack and Ember will defend the same objective. And once that's done, the objective changes. And so it's you can't ask for a better start to your map pick, right? Especially after losing 4-1 on map 1.
Yeah, I mean, coming back out with a cap on your map pick when they came out with a cap on their map pick, definitely stopping that momentum that they had rolling. And I don't know if Steven's played this map in a long time, since he hasn't been practicing. Animal House might be good at it, but I think they were running a different roster when they played it the last couple of times.
Interesting.
And I mean, yeah, like you said, it's a game of chess. Nynx was defending a position, and he knew that there was someone in front of him. Quokka was there. But once he lost a player, he rotated to come in behind that player and get the kills. And he gave up the approach that he had.
Yep.
And realistically, he could have also opted to just turn around and look back towards that approach instead of going, after them. And either one would have probably worked, but one would have left the objective less exposed. Those are the risks you take when you want to get the flank kills. But they feel so good. Some captainry coming out from Hailfire, telling them if you see someone far away, call it and then shoot, so we know where they're at instead of shooting and then calling.
Interesting.
Which is a good call. I mean, you want to know where the enemy is. Knowing where they're at helps your team more than just killing them.
A pretty direct line of approach here from Animal House, as you'd expect. They are a quick and direct team. They haven't played a offensive round slow yet, and so I don't really expect that pace to change, as they do sort of quickly get themselves set up here along the lake bed.
Who is this? We've got Hailfire. Here he is. Yeah. He pushed up. So the different spawns for this objective are the twin hangars in the southwest, the one hangar in the north, which is what they had, and the warehouse in the northeast. I think those are the only 3 spawns for this objective. So it looks like Hailfire went over here expecting or looking for, trying to identify that spawn. That's a big part of the game, is knowing where the enemy spawns so you know where you can send your people without them getting shot. And it looks like he was trying to find the spawn to see if it was the twin hangars, and it wasn't. So now he's just over here waiting for a very long approach. Honestly, I don't know if I had spawned in the north, I don't know if I would have made this far western approach. And it seems like the 4 members here on Animal House are kind of encircling him and not the objective. They're going to clear out this area first. Hailfire's looking the wrong way now. Dolomite is right behind him and not looking at him either, though.
There's that tree line denying vision there. I think Dolomite just can't quite see. Hailfire is going to hear footsteps from Lipinski. Lipinski not going to check around these sandbags. There's no way he's going to check around these crates. And now he is. Hailfire finds one, dumps rounds downrange towards Nyx. Tried to find Lipinski with some blind fire, and we're into a bit of a ring around the rosy as Lipinski finally catches out Hailfire in a hailfire of bullets, and that's what they needed. They can afford the trade, they can get that resurrection, they can push down towards objective and be a full force pushing in. The revive on the backside there, as you can see on your kill feed, and Wicked here nearly on objective.
Steven trying to approach. He's trying to clear out the southeastern guard tower, that's what that's called, from the objective side, not from the garage side, which is a different approach. And Switch knows he's here, so he's trying to just firefight this out. Or maybe he's just trying to draw all the attention.
Oh,
he really doesn't like those sandbags.
The C4 up and over, catches out 2. That was a beautiful toss. The push coming in from Dolomite. The nade follows up and catches another 2 in a flash. Ember secure themselves their defensive round with some excellent utility placement.
Yeah, that C4, I missed it, but the follow-up nade that caught somebody was a great throw.
Yeah.
Wow.
Right on point.
I definitely thought Animal House were going to push that and get onto the objective. I thought that the aggression we were going to see was just going to punch right through that Ember side, but man, they just laid them out with that C4, and great plays. Great teamwork. Knowing to throw that nade over your teammate, you know, and knowing where your teammate is so you don't hit him with it, you know?
That's a dangerous nade to throw. That's a very impressive command of that ability to toss it. I think he was even probably going for the follow-up, right? Because he knew he had a good C4 toss out and over, and then was.
Yeah.
I mean, geez, so fortunate though. Catches the other 2 pushing in through that entry point. And probably planned though, you know, because that's basically your only way into objective if you are going to approach from that side, right? And so if you hear chaos over there, you hear gunfire, put a nade or 2 right at this little entryway, and you're gonna find some success.
Yeah, and it also helps you check that side where Quokka, I think, capped on the previous round. It lets you clear out the opposite side of that building without actually having eyes on if someone was over there capping. But now we're moving to my, I'd say my second favorite objective. The warehouse objective.
Oh yeah, this is more in line with what Animal House like to do, a little bit more close quarters. So it should play into their hand, but they're on the defense. They don't get to really challenge and play aggressive. They're gonna have to sit there and passively wait, so I am curious to see what they do on defense in this objective. Can you really even play this one aggressive?
Well, so that's what I was thinking. You can send a flanker out, but if you flank out of the wrong tunnel and you just miss, then you just invalidated your whole flank, because they're going to push in faster than you can redirect down the tunnels. And it looks like Ember is going to have the quick spawn. They're spawning in the garage. Going to push 2. Milkman and Hailfire are going to go through the tunnels, and the other 3 are going to go around, it seems, which takes a little bit longer. And that's the hardest part about this objective with this spawn, is being able to tell your tunnel guys, okay, we need you to slow down, we need you to go somewhere and sit, and you have to wait for the rest of the approach to go all the way around the outside of this building. Or your tunnel doesn't listen, they push in and they die, and then you give up, you lose that whole approach. Being able to approach from multiple angles is the best way to attack this objective. Making heads swivel on the defenders is the best, like, better than utility. Just making them look for you.
Yeah, and they're definitely going to be making heads swivel. They got Light Shaper here with an LMG in the, what is that, west, and over on the east they have another LMG, so they're going to be really putting out quite a bit of suppressive fire, quite a bit of noise over towards this objective when they make their approach. I wanted to hover over Animal House and see where they were going to defend, but you can never hover over Animal House at the start of a round.
They are all tucked in, and it's worth noting that on this objective, all of these boxes are penetrable. This wood is all shootable. So you can't really hide behind them. You can hide behind the concrete pillars, but they offer concealment, not cover. Wicked is actually in front of most of the boxes. This is an uncommon defensive position. Hailfire finds Lipinski through the boxes with some blind fire. Normally where someone like Wicked would be just on the other side of those tall boxes, but he was just waiting.
Switching Light Shaper, getting ready to make their entry point from the opposite side. Steven gonna try and play spoiler with a flash, but doesn't apply the pressure off of it. It might have caught Light Shaper, but I'm not sure. Wicked able to peek the window, excuse me, the doorway finds one. Milkman looking for the refrag. Quokka applying pressure on the backside. That forces a rotation. Steven, Nynx, Snolamite tucked inside, waiting for entry out of Ember, and they're the final three.
Steven pushes out when that nade pull comes out, and he gets two. Steven finds Quokka, Milkman finds him. Milkman's gonna see Nynx. He's just shooting at what's shooting. He doesn't see him.
Pat
now
out.
He's on objective. No, Nolamite finds him in the smoke.
Interesting choice to go for the cap there when you have 3 points. You don't need 5.
Yeah.
You know, the 4-0 is really perfect, but either way, a decent attack and a nice defense. Steven swinging, that was huge.
I think that if he hadn't shot at the gunfire and just gone for the cap, he probably could have got that. But he shot at Nynx and then went for the cap immediately following. I think that's probably why they knew he was there.
Wow. Excellent defense there. I'm surprised the swing was...
collapses very well.
Yeah, that's true. Wow. I think the timing was just a touch off there from Ember on the approach, you know? If they had all entered in through their doorways, their respective doorways at the same time, they would have had a little more success. The smokes, were those defensive that were deployed inside?
No, I think those were offensive from the north side. They threw some smokes in after taking down Wicked. Or maybe it was Quokka that threw them in.
Either way,
tunnel.
If they had just synced up their entries, the entry in from the tunnel would have really been, if that had come in a little sooner, that would have thrown things a little bit more in chaos. And to your point, they were trying to put everyone's head on a swivel, you know, and they did. Steven did such a good job. Charged out the door, finds 2, swings back, catches another in center. Almost finds the 4th, but couldn't quite put it all together there. And either way, he hangs on for Animal House. Ember on the defense now as we hop back into the action for round number 5.
Yes, round number 5. I feel like on this objective, there's only so many ways you can defend it. I mean, there's 4 doors and 5 players, so there's only so many ways you can put 5 people to guard these doors. And especially with the high availability of concealment, you can hide anywhere. Honestly, I don't know if a defensive smoke would be a bad idea necessarily.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I thought it might have been, because it really opened up a few more angles, allowed Steven to charge that doorway without being spotted. You know, it just made things a little bit easier for that defense. And I mean, to your point of being hard to spot, these guys are all tucked into all sorts of different little nooks and crannies here.
I think Animal House had the same spawn. They spawned in the warehouse, or maybe they spawned just outside of the warehouse. or the garage, sorry. But they have opted all to come around, and are they all going to push in the front of this objective?
They may send one tunnel. You can do that, but I don't see that investment happening. It would have been Wicked Hex, I would think, who would probably enter in tunnel. They have a defender back there. That might end up being no good for Ember here. If Animal House decide to invest 5 in the entry, they can afford to trade their way through and end up putting in the code. So we'll see what Animal House's ultimate strategy is. I imagine it's going to be pretty close to just trying to dump in there, throw some flashes, maybe some nades, and see what happens.
Yeah, I've been making the argument recently that if you push 5 people through the same approach, they're not going to have 5 defenders there. So the possibility of just overwhelming that one defensive angle and then just punching through is very high. And, I mean, it looks like that's what they're going to do. I'm seeing 4 members stacked up.
Ooh, we're going to see some cheeky smokes. Some very cheeky smoke. Smoke in this game, unfortunately, can't clip through walls, and there's nothing we can do about it. And so some teams do decide to utilize it to their advantage. Decent C4 toss up against the wall, doesn't find any success as Wicked decides to make his entryway in. Milkman with a nice snapshot finds one. Nolamite deploying his smokes next. And Milkman applying pressure onto the doorway. No one charging in just quite yet. As he does go out looking for action. Yeah, not the right move. Nolamite in a hailfire of bullets finds a trade. Steven getting a little over-aggressive, looks for the cap. He goes down. Meanwhile, a swing on the back end from hailfire out of tunnel catches another into a bit of a trade. And Ember answer back in kind to 4-1 loss, 4-1 themselves.
Yeah, Switch there using those offensive smokes to his advantage. He actually backed up into him in a corner and watched the objective from inside the smoke and waited for Steven to make that cross, which was a smart play for sure. And man, they're wasting no time. We're moving on to the next map. These teams know what they want.
Yeah, no pause in decision making there. And I mean, it's Animal House. You know, it's again true to the player there. It's true to how they play. They are fast. That was a quick map 3 choice, and yes, it is going to be Suburbia.
Now, I would like to call out that Ember had 2 awesome C4 placements. They just blew them a little early. But I honestly never thought to use like they used. They put them on the inside of the doors. So if someone made it inside, then they would blow it. Which is a pretty bold strategy, because you're obviously letting someone into the building that you're defending.
Right.
But no one is also going to come in a door and look up to check for a C4 when they're in a firefight. So it could have paid off. I mean, they won the round either way. Maybe that C4 going off would just deter Animal House. I don't know.
To correct the scores here, add another point for Animal House. They were able to put 1 on the board there. But I mean, I guess that's sort of the drawback of their playstyle too, though, is what we're seeing in this scoreline, right? It's volatile. There is room for it to swing the total opposite direction. You know, we see that aggression on Snowpeak completely backfire. Ember did a great job answering to it. They found the utility kills they needed to. They timed it up pretty well against how these guys were going to play, and you know, they did a great job of just quickly shifting momentum. Suburbia, I think, is more of an Animal House playground based off of what we've seen so far. You know, I think it's going to favor them if they keep the momentum they had up.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And I'm going to stick with my prediction. Nolamite is going to run right up through the carport, and then he's going to duck out into 3 and look right through the fence line and try and shoot somebody. Or go for those Hescos right there at the 3 into 3. That's where he's going to be. Every time. Doesn't matter. Defense, offense, doesn't matter. That's where he's going to be.
Just for what it's worth, I don't think we're seeing any subs. Unless that is what we're waiting on. But it doesn't seem like any substitutes are coming in.
I don't think if I was Ember, I would sub anyone out because of how well you did on the last map.
Yeah. Did they sub out for map 2? Who they sub in for map? Do they sub anybody
They
in for map 2?
Yeah, Light Shaper came in for
J-Lo?
J-Lo?
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, with that kind of momentum, you just kind of want to keep rolling with it. Granted, it's a different map, and to the point of how some of these teams operate, they have, you know, you can have 5, what is it, an 8-team roster at maximum, and so, you know, obviously at any given time there's only 5 players per team in the game, but some players excel at certain maps, and so some teams have picked players that they know, okay, you're good at using the shield, we'll bring you for this map and this map, we'll leave you out when it comes to Snow Peak or Quarantine, you know. Some teams have these specialists, and so I wonder if we'll see any of that. But yeah, to your point, if you have that kind of momentum, you just played it on Snow Peak, you just played pretty quick, you know, might as well keep riding it into map 3.
Yeah, it's a tough call between people saying, I don't like this map, and them having just won a map and carrying that forward. It's really hard to decide, and really, it's up to the player, I think, to say, I don't think I'm going to be useful or not.
Yeah, best, you know, it's, I'm sure Light Shaper's feeling good after a 4-1 W, and so we'll see how things go for Ember and Animal House as we hop into round 1 of map 3. It's a good, I mean, this is what are we coming in at? What's the overall time? Like 20 minutes, 30 minutes? This has been an incredibly quick series, and I'm glad to see it go down to a best of 3.
This could actually rival the Quest Tickles versus, I forget who it was, that they had like a 50-minute round or 50-minute match or something like that.
30 seconds in, Steven's inside center house, 2-story uncontested. Quokka is here with a C4 in hand.
Oh, that C4 is just on the ceiling in the room Quokka's in.
Not optimal, and if he detonates it now, he's going to kill himself. Oh, there he goes.
Oh, Steven missed the peek. One tap to the head. Quokka finds him. No, there's not Ninx.
He's got to be careful about his backside. Lipinski right there. Here comes Ninx. That LMG really raining in chaos.
We can talk this through, right? Second floor, center house.
Oh, the banter. I love it.
Something you only
Ninx
really...
is going to get blown up so hard.
Oh yeah, he's gonna charge in. That's the bait. That is the bait. Quokka knows exactly how Animal House like to play. He knows exactly who they are. Him standing there crossing the window would have been a moment for Lipinski to find the kill, but he has rotated up. Wicked's crossed the street. He's found one. He gets picked up quickly. Lipinski finally catches the kill. Ember down 2, but it's a 3v1. It's all up to Lipinski.
Yeah, the C4 bait in the center house is not something you're used to, because normally when people are in the center house, they're defending that center house objective, and that C4 wouldn't be viable at that point because it'd be too close to the objective. There's a radius around the objective where if you throw a C4, it won't be detonatable, because that'd be cheesy, and you can't do that. You can't throw a C4 on the objective.
Well, we're in a garage objective too.
Right, that's what I'm saying. You don't normally expect a C4 in center house, because normally if someone's there, they're defending that objective.
True.
Pinsky's just creeping around looking for these kills now. He's got 3 members to pick off. And Quokka is making all the noise, so Lipinski knows he's there. And Quokka is just going to call out all the footsteps.
Yeah. He's even calling back everything down to this retreat out of Lipinski.
Pinsky's like, this guy just keeps calling me out. I gotta go.
He go to his own little corner of the map.
I do think his best approach would be somewhere through playground or 4.
Yeah, I agree. It was working for most of his team until Quokka shut it down from the 2-story, but yeah, I think that's going to be the best course of action.
Yeah, unfortunately, if you try and make that cross, you do have to divide your attention between Quokka's window and the south house. So that's pretty tough to do. But there's also not a good way at all to pick Quokka without going out into the street. So I don't know what I would do in this scenario. Maybe try and sneak across the street, not actually shoot either way. Just try and go to these bushes here and then like across to the tank.
Yeah.
Real slow and sneaky like.
Lipinski might be thinking the same thing you are, because he is ultimately starting to trend towards that direction. The only problem is Switch could easily swing and peek here. I just don't think Switch wants to expose himself through that window. A minute 45 on the clock, too.
It all rolls down to luck at that point, right? They don't peek the windows at the time I'm crossing. Completely exposed, in the street, crossing. But it looks like Quokka is... Where is he looking? I can't tell.
Oh, there it is. Switch finally dials in through the window on an exposed head of F. Lipinski, and Ember shut down Animal House, getting aggressive in that center building. I mean, that C4, excellent play there.
Yeah, I mean, the placement to the hiding spot was so good. People don't expect C4 is that close to a person. I mean, that's another thing is you don't think, hey, this guy's going to have a C4 literally above his head on the ceiling.
Yeah.
And so you run in there and just expect a gunfight. Yeah. Great plays. Quokka got 3 there. Switch with 2.
Such a solid inside defense. I mean, that saved him. If Quokka wasn't in there, if he wasn't set up there, if he didn't get the kill, he risked going for that gunshot kill. You know, so him to even have that C4 available for the second kill is fortunate for him, and it's just a lot of things working in his favor there.
Yeah, I don't know if he knew Steven was there. He had to have known, because Steven called that it was clear.
Right. They were talking.
Yeah.
Pretty quick, though, as expected. It did slow up, but, you know, the initial press was within 30 seconds. They were inside center house, so no waiting, no smokes, no... Let's check angles, just charging in.
Peeker's advantage, man.
Yeah.
Aggression pays out.
Well, Ember are trying to prove otherwise. Although they have been aggressive in their own right, they certainly haven't been charging in like Animal House. And so far, they have the lead. We'll see if they can find a Marsoc round as we hop into round number 2 of map 3, the series decider.
Yeah, all these rounds matter, as the map hasn't been decided yet. Free Fire takes down 1, Ninx with a headshot.
Yeah, it's not how you want to start off your offensive round. For those that may not know what happened there, rounds were shot through the wood fence, through shrubs, as sort of a guess from an LMG. And those rounds ended up catching a head. And that is exactly why they do it, just to see if they can get lucky. Nobody knows that they've gotten a kill. As far as Animal House are concerned, there's still 5 alive for Ember, and so they'll act off of that knowledge, but definitely 1 dead for Ember.
And I think that they saw that spawn, because you can see like a little sliver of people cross there from the south spawn house, and that allowed Nolamite to get over here on the APC side. He's all the way tucked in behind these K rails, which is a really hard spot to see until you're in firing, you know, distance or in the firing line that Nolamite's watching.
I see a comment.
Ember definitely waiting for that flanker.
I see a comment in chat. I wish team comms were louder. If they were louder, we would have to go into like NC-17 with Animal House. Like, we would be in a new rating of...
We could be the first, NightFiree. We could be the first.
No.
Switch gonna be getting in contact here with Nolamite or Lipinski. I'm not sure which one's gonna see him first.
Quokka might find the back of Lipinski. If he just swings his angle over here and checks it.
Oh.
Oh my goodness, he's not gonna look. Wow, Lipinski somehow staying alive here.
Stay alive. Milkman and Lipinski trade. Ooh, Switch tries to get a refrag onto those shots, and Nolemite peeks out and takes him down. 2 downs, but not out.
Ooh, Nolemite pushes up, finds the confirm. Is he going to drop back in time before Lightshaper can find that refrag? He does. Lightshaper tucks in. Quokka will be able to pick up Milkman, so not all is lost for Ember on their offensive round, but it is a 4v3.
You know, people say that those bushes are easy to see through, but I have tried all the different settings on the index, and I don't think that they're easy to see through.
I think people are just trained their eyes to see pixels, and so they know when a pixel changes, they gotta shoot their gun.
That is not positive target identification.
Hey, I agree, but that's, I think, also to the point. It shouldn't really be through bushes.
Also agree.
Just waiting to see what these three are up to. A bit of a pause in their approach since they've lost a few. Quokka's going on a long rotation. He's really maybe looking for a flanker, because Animal House have invested in the flanks before, but he won't find much.
They're scheming. Trying to come up with a new plan.
Oh, he dropped back to one of their guys that died instantly and got all the utility off of him. That's what he was
smart
doing.
Play.
Ooh, Nolemite charging in on the APC. Almost goes down to his own team's grenade, but able to stay alive. Meanwhile, Milkman in center house will be contesting shortly. Up the stairs he goes, and Wicked Hex. Does he know he's in here?
I don't know if he does. He has to. Well, he does now. Ooh, Ninx finds Quokka, and then Nolemite sees the barrel of Milkman's gun as he pokes out the window. It looks like he's now charging up the stairs. Ooh, Milkman was ready for that. Oh, man.
That was a nice turn and burn from Milkman. Great snap. That was a full body 180 to get that kill, and he now has a minute and a half to push in on objective. Steven doesn't have an angle. Ninx doesn't, although coming down these stairs is risky.
Oh, he shot at Steven and gave his position away. Just waiting. Steven's baiting him.
Yeah.
Oh, he misses again. He goes out the door.
What is Ninx up to? I don't think Milk has any idea Ninx is there, and Ninx swings out, has an exposed Milkman, and finds the kill. A nice job to tie things up for Animal House 1-1.
I don't know if they were off on their kill count, because that run didn't need to happen that early. He still had 50 seconds-ish. But
yeah, that's why I don't think he knew Ninx was there. I think they didn't have that kill count accurate, and he assumed that was the final defender on the backside of objective, because that is a standard last man standing defensive position. That is where you will typically tuck yourself in behind the objective. Really make sure no one's going to get up onto it and punch in the code, and I think that's what he was acting off of. So, good job, Ninx, swinging and getting that kill, but we now shift over to a burning building objective, and I anticipate a hearty smoke press here at Animal House.
Ooh, yes, the burning objective.
I'd be surprised if Animal House pumped the brakes on this one, because this one you can definitely play fast.
Yeah, absolutely. I can see them just going for it. The other thing I think is that Animal House isn't really afraid to lose.
Yeah, right.
They'll just play again. They'll come back. They'll win. They'll win another game. Like they've got all season. So you know, if they lose a round or two or a match or two, is it that big a deal?
Not to these guys, and I think that does make them a threat because they can play loose, they can run risks, they can go for caps. You know, it's something you have to always be ready for. It's another element of their play style that is uncharacteristic, but it makes them successful because of its uncharacteristic, you know?
Yeah, they're definitely going to go for it. Animal House swapping utility, swapping mags. Nink's running a shield now.
Animal House are certainly focusing up. That was the cleanest comms I've heard out of them at the start of a round. Everyone's swapping nades, swapping ammo, asking where the smokes were going to be. They are definitely coming into this round on point, so I expect the attack to unfold here.
In round number 3. I don't know if we said that yet.
We didn't. I hadn't queued up the info. I think I saw in chat, are shields legal in this league? Of course. You can see him right here with Ninx in hand.
I feel like Ninx is going to get C4'd. Oh, this frag's coming in. Oh, just a little short. They're counting grenades now. You know, they didn't push it as aggressively as we thought.
I know.
They're trying to bait out that utility usage now.
This is Animal House turning it on when it matters and playing differently. They're definitely playing it a bit slower. 4:45 though, not exactly slow, and I think they're going to start their attack. Steven is smoke down this lane, and interesting. He's smoking second floor from bottom.
That is an interesting use of that smoke. Unfortunately, it does not save Lipinski as he tries to make that cross.
One down, there's one by tank.
Bit of a wild.
They're on objective. Ninx is right there. Comes around the corner, sees Light Shaper. The shots and the shield fire.
Was that nade toss
Look, it's in
there?
the smoke.
Oh my!
Oh, a C4 goes off and takes down multiple.
No Might's here!
Now on the Switch doesn't know he's the last man standing because that C4 included a suicide.
Well, should be
That's
a
a cap.
free and easy cap. An Animal House. Turn on. I don't know. They turned it on though. That was a different Animal House attacking that objective. Much more focused, and honestly, wow, that secured him too.
Tell me you were on that objective when that C4 happened, though,
Yeah.
because man,
So what
that
happened?
was.
Here's the play-by-play. We had a push with a shield. Whoever was defending inside the balcony pulled a nade and began to throw it at shield. Then the attacker behind shield swung. Shield died. The nade came around the ledge of balcony and sat there for 3 or 4 seconds.
Oh, it detonated the C4.
And then detonated the C4, which ended in the team kill. The C4 was tossed, and I think he was going to position himself behind the bunker and then detonate it, but he didn't get there in time before it blew up, and
oh man.
yeah, it killed everybody.
And threw off the count. I mean, yeah. Whew.
Yeah.
Chaos.
That's what Animal House. That's when they succeed, man. When they can cause that chaos. Good smokes too. You looked at it. The smokes just the right crossover, just the right overlay to cover any vision from 2-story down into that room. So you know he was completely blind. He had no sight onto objective from spawn building.
Yep. He was just praying that that blind fire was going to catch him. Also, for all the new players in the chat, information that you should always give your team is when you have a live grenade or a C4, because you are a danger to yourself and others. You gotta let them know. Oh, and it looks like there is a swap. We're gonna see J-Lo come back in for.
Wow.
Who'd we lose? Polka, Hailfire, Light Shaper, Milkman, J-Lo. I don't remember.
Interesting. Either way, J-Lo's
Switch.
in. Oh, yeah. Switch was doing well, so an interesting one to be subbing in, but we'll see if it's what they need, because Ember are on their last leg. Their backs against the wall as Animal House contending for the series with this point, and Ember on the offense, so it is it's Animal House's series to lose.
Yeah, and just having to defend this objective, I mean, it's tough because you want to cap it, but you can't cap it without exposing yourself to, like, you know, the spawn house or something. And so you have to clear that spawn house, which then exposes you. So it's like a cat and mouse game. What risks do I want to take to get these kills?
Milkman has gotten up into this front carport. No line of sights are on him. Stevens will be through the window. I don't know if Milkman's ready. That was an insane trade. How did Milkman hit that shot? I will never know. That was nuts.
One tapped. Yeah. That was crazy.
Wow. Very fortunate either way. That's a key spot down. It takes off all of their forward defense. That was it. Everyone else is tucked back on objectives. So the rest of the map now opens up significantly for Ember to push into.
Yeah, J-Lo and Lightshaper here are still worried about that flanker. They're waiting at the northwestern side of the map. I swear, at some point in my Onward career, I will get left and right correctly.
Good luck. Good luck. Great nade toss right into a previously defended position. So very smart moves here. J-Lo obviously watching the tape. You know, he was in stream. He obviously saw that position and naded it. So great react. I mean, yeah. That just shows you the value of bringing in a sub. Quokka.
Quokka under the Humvee. But Nolamite did get that smoke redirected, which was probably the most detrimental smoke that they had.
Hailfire needs to walk a smoke in right now.
Wicked is right there waiting for him, but Lipinski pops up and shoots him.
Really nice pop-up shot there out of Lipinski. Key, obviously, but a nice bit of shooting. Quokka saw him too, went to go get that shot off, but couldn't get it quite in time.
Wicked is peeking through such a tight angle on this objective. He's looking between the sandbags and the post of the porch. Blows the C4. Nobody there. I'm not sure what caused that explosion.
Nynx peeks out the door, window, excuse me, finds one, doesn't get the confirm, so Com's still there. And you know what? This Lightshaper J-Lo duo, I think, is biting him in the rear because they were set up so well. If they had a presence from the APC, they could be contending objective right now. Either way, Ember pretty close to evening things out. If they can get up there, get that res, it will be a 3v3.
That'd be a tough res, though. That's in the middle of the playground, pretty open.
It's you can quickly get to it. There's not a ton of distance between you and cutting off the angle from Nynx, but I do agree it's in the middle of the open. Nynx isn't holding it either, though. As long as Nynx doesn't hold the angle, this is free. No one here is watching this.
Lightshaper having some difficulty putting his tablet back on his back. He throws it a couple of times. I mean, do they have smoke left? That's the question. I see one on Lightshaper and one on J-Lo. Smokes are going to give away their position. Is Animal House going to rotate off of this?
Oh no, he missed the res. Goes back, finally, gets it. Okay, no damage done yet, but J-Lo is certainly killable by Wicked if Wicked peeks up.
Lipinski watching this angle just gives up on it, and Quokka comes around and takes his head off. Quokka just peeks his corner a little bit more. He can find Wicked. But Nynx finds him.
Crazy bit of
That's also
trading on opposite sides of this. Lifesaver is going to push in, doesn't find Wicked, actually does. Crouches down in time. Nynx has to apply pressure. Light's going to punch in the code. Nynx trying to find the angle. Light is in cover, doesn't get it in time. Animal House find the one round they need and secure the series.
What a try from Light. I mean, he was tucked in there so hard. But I don't know if I would have done that. Not when it's game point.
Yeah,
I don't know.
it's, hey, it would have tied things up. You go your defensive round. You're most likely going into the north. We know the north objectives are harder to cap on. They're easier to defend. It's just.
But all of that would have happened if it was a kill. You just would have still been down a point.
Then you have to attack.
I mean,
of
yes,
course.
I agree. It's the heat of the moment.
Yeah.
I personally would not have gone for it because I can't read good.
Yeah,
We've already established this.
The way that, if you don't know, the way you enter the code is you have to memorize a 7-digit code and then punch it in. So if he didn't have it memorized, he would have had to read it, memorize it, then enter it. That's at least 7 seconds. Wow. Crazy series. Yeah. Lightning fast and very exciting. Animal House and Ember both delivering on a very fiery match.
I think we have another game still going. It's probably only halfway through at the rate we've been going. So
that's true. Let's take a quick peek. Well, if it is going, we'll drop the raid over there. But wow, that's gonna be it for us on the desk. Shout out to everybody that has tuned in and is new to the league. We do appreciate you guys stopping by. Head on over to vrmasterleague.com. You can register to join a team. You can sign up to be a reservist, and you can join in a variety of games. We have Echo Arena, Onward, Contractors, Pavlov, Final Assault. There's tons. So get on over to the site, get yourself into some esports, get playing. We are quest agnostic, quest friendly. Any game that is cross-play with the quest, you can play on it. So please take a look, get involved. Onward is going to be out in the quest in T-4 days, 3.5, really at this point. But yeah, T-4 days. So keep your eyes on that if you have a quest. That will be out soon enough. That's going to be a huge hit, no doubt in my mind. Very much looking forward to that.
And shout out to all of our sponsors. We've got Pro2 VR, we've got B Haptics, Rebuff Reality, VR Covers, Cyber Shoes, Fixed Gaming. All of these people make the league the way that it is, and we love them. We love you. And yeah, I think we're done.
I think we are too. That's going to be it for us here on the desk. My name is NightFiree. His name is Trip. We will see you all. Gosh, is it going to be? Maybe we'll catch a match next week.
There's a match already scheduled. There's already a challenge match scheduled for Tuesday, and it's casted.
But we are going on a 3-week hiatus, starting on the launch of Oculus Quest 1.8 on the 30th. So this might be the last game, probably not. We're actually going to host you onto another one, so it's definitely not technically the last game. Either way, thank you so much for tuning in. We will see you all next week, most likely with a challenge match. So make sure to tune in. Adios.